Those are the headlines that we're tracking for you at this hour. This is the show where our team at CNBC TV 18 gets you the top stories of the day. I'm Arundhati Ramanan and you're watching Reporter's Diary. Straight to the exclusive news break. The Union Cabinet is likely to meet this evening, and sources tell us that the much-anticipated Agri relief package is on its agenda. In fact, the centre is believed to be mulling a direct benefit transfer scheme for farmers. Parikshit Luthra joins us with the details. Parikshit, what are the key features of the package under consideration, and can we expect the government to make the big bang announcement today?
Well, we know for a fact that the government had started looking at a massive agri relief package post the assembly election defeat. They were working on a number of mechanisms. They were working on reforming the crop insurance scheme, the KCC, the Kisan Credit Card Yojana. They were also mulling a universal basic income scheme on the lines of the Raitu Bandhu scheme in Telangana, which entails a direct benefit transfer of about 4,000 rupees per acre per farmer in the state. The cost was a cause for concern because many believe that this would have cost the exchequer somewhere between 2 lakh crore to 3 lakh crore rupees. But we are now given to believe by our top sources that yes, a direct benefit transfer scheme is very much on the agenda of the cabinet meeting today. What are the contours of it? We're yet to get details, but we believe that it's going to be based on the size of land holdings. This is the only measure for farmers that is there on the cabinet agenda today. There is one more cabinet meeting this month. So it is possible that a decision on this scheme may be deferred to the next cabinet meeting. But it's very possible that in the next 1 hour or so, we might see that announcement. The cabinet meeting takes place at 6:30 p.m. All top cabinet ministers will be there. The Prime Minister will, of course, be chairing it. Our sources in the Agriculture Ministry extremely tight-lipped about what's going to happen in the next 1.5 hours.
All right, Parikshit, it's a crucial 1.5 hours. We're going to have to see if anything comes out at the end of that time. Thank you so much for those details. A slew of changes came in as the GST Council met in the capital today in what was the final huddle before the interim budget on the 1st of February. Now, the MSME sector got a big relief as the council hiked the composition scheme limit to 1.5 crore rupees effective the 1st of April. The council also approved annual return and quarterly tax payment under the composition scheme, and the composition limit for services has been set at 50 lakh rupees. Now, while the council could not reach a decision on real estate due to a lack of consensus, the matter will be referred to a group of ministers. Finance Minister Arun Jaitley, however, ruled out further rate cuts till an increase in GST revenue mop-up. Remember, after crossing the 1 lakh crore rupee mark for September, GST collection figures have seen a decline in October and November. That's not all. We also spoke to finance ministers of other states to get a better sense of the measures taken. Take a look.
अब दो प्रकार की एग्जेम्पशन लिमिट्स होंगी। पहली वाली का स्लैब 40 लाख होगा, यानी कि जो 20 लाख था उसको डबल कर दिया गया है, और जो इन छोटे राज्यों के लिए जो 10 लाख की लिमिट थी उसको 20 लाख पे रखा गया है। वी विल कंसिडर एनी फर्दर रिडक्शंस ऑन इंडिविजुअल आइटम्स ओनली व्हेन रेवेन्यूज मूव अप।
Any further rate reduction will be decided only after watching the revenue for the next few months. You know, how revenue, matter is stabilized.
So where are you on the shortfall right now? Last question.
No, I mean in the sense this shortfall
Last time you indicated 60 to 70 approximately.
No. See, the question is that shortfall with respect to what? So I mean,
GST.
right. So the next 3 months the revenue is already, we are in the process. Every month we used to get around 98,000 crores so far the GST overall was concerned. In the month of December we got around 95,000 crores. So let us see during the next 3 months in which direction our revenue goes, and then any decision about the rate reduction will arrive.
Composition for the SME sector has been increased to 1.5 crores.
Okay.
So that brings a substantial relief to small people. And the threshold level.
So
now
also
we discussed whether it should be raised or not.
Also
now
discussed?
threshold level, when you come into the tax net,
So
now it is 20 lakh rupees. So we also did an upper limit of 40 lakhs.
okay.
The states can choose between 20 and 40 lakhs.
Right, sir. And sir, also you have been given the, the GST Council has approved that, 1% Kerala cess for 2 years?
That's right.
Real estate and lottery has gone to GOM, and GOM hopefully will be constituted within a day or two. Consensus could not be achieved, but general mood is that yes, we need to help, but to what extent, what is the manner, how we will do that. So all these issues will go to now a GOM, and GOM will decide.
So there were some reservations that were raised by you along with opposition state FMs. What were these, sir?
दो तीन चीज़ें थी. एक तो डिसीजन मेकिंग जो है वो बहुत जल्दबाजी में ना हो. दूसरा स्टेट्स भी जो डिसीजन ले रहे हैं, स्टेट्स भी बहुत सारे रिकमेंडेशन करते हैं, तो उनको भी एजेंडे में शामिल किया जाए. सिर्फ सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट या सेंट्रली रूलिंग स्टेट वाली पार्टीज़ जो हैं उन्हीं के स्टेट के एजेंडे ना आए, बल्कि बाकी राज्य भी बहुत सारे एजेंडा देते हैं और वो भी नेशनल इंटरेस्ट में हैं, उनको भी ठीक से कंसीडर किया जाए.
Matter was discussed at a group of ministers level where Mr. Sushil Modi was the chairman. I think Mr. Biswas is playing petty politics. What was discussed at the level of group of ministers was a threshold limit, anything between 40 to 50. And that's exactly what was recommended, and that's what the council has adopted. How the 75 lakh actually crept into the agenda, because this was not discussed at the group of ministers, and in fact the entire council actually raised serious issues as how come agenda creeps into, proposals creep into an agenda which were never discussed. I'm concerned to death about revenues. I mean, these are what revenues, I heard the finance secretary speak that this month we collected 94 and then it was 96. But these are not the revenues which were expected. Revenues, we are collecting less revenues than we were collecting 2 years back.
With less than 3 months for the financial year to draw to a close, the central government is believed to be close to meeting its divestment target of 80,000 crore rupees. Sources tell us that proposals which are currently in the pipeline are likely to push divestment receipts well beyond 70,000 crore rupees. Sapna Das joins us with more. Sapna, take us through the government's divestment math right now.
Well, clearly, Arundhati, the government currently is standing around 36,000 crores as far as the divestment receipts are concerned for FY19. But this number is likely to touch 80,000 crores by the end of the financial year. That's a clear-cut sense that we have got. In terms of what could be the new proposals, for example, well, you may also have the third tranche of the Bharat 22 ETF being announced. That's very much on the cards. Given to understand that basically probably the reworking of the Bharat 22 index is underway as of now, and once that has been finalized, probably there'll be a further fund offer. I think FFO3 of Bharat 22 is very much on the cards. So that's one. That'll be a big item. Apart from that, we also given to understand that possibly there could be some share sales as well in the pipeline. So that part of the story is not yet over. Apart from this, the big ticket item, of course, in the current financial year has been, apart from the ETF launches, has been the REC PFC deal. So 14,000 odd crores in one shot. That's what the expectation is. Buyback program is already tied up. Some bit of it has already happened. Some bit of it is underway. So this month and next month, the revenues are going to start kicking in. So all of that. Also, sale of enemy property shares, around 3,000 odd crores is clearly what the government can, pick up from there. So all of this put together very easily, well beyond 70,000 crores is, what the envelope already is. So as of now, no major worry as to whether they'll really reach the 80,000 odd crore target or not.
The Supreme Court has deferred the hearing of the Ayodhya title dispute case to the 29th of January. Now, this move came after Justice UU Lalit, who was part of the 5-judge bench, recused himself after the petitioner raised a red flag. Ashmit Kumar is here with more details. Ashmit, what happened in court today and what's next?
Right, so we're barely 10 days into the year 2019 and we've already seen 2 instances of hurdles coming in the way of the Ayodhya hearing before the Apex Court. Now, keep in mind that at the last hearing, Justice Gogoi had deferred the matter, saying that an appropriate bench needs to be constituted. Today, of course, we had the new bench that was constituted. It consisted of 5 judges, but we saw the second hurdle. And this was, of course, raised by one of the petitioners. The petitioners raised the concern that Justice UU Lalit, who happens to be one of the judges on the bench, during his practice as a lawyer, had in fact appeared for none other than Kalyan Singh, the former UP Chief Minister, at the time of the demolition of the very same Babri Masjid. Now, given this case of conflict, this concern had been red flagged, this question had been raised, and on the back of that, we now have Justice U. Lalit recusing himself from these proceedings, which begs the question, what about the way forward? Well, Justice Gogoi, the Chief, has answered that question by saying that a new bench will be constituted, that the hearing will resume on January 29th. And of course, another aspect that needs to be kept in mind is the documents in question. There are voluminous documents running into 15 trunks. It's not counted in pages, it's counted in trunks, 15 trunks of documents. The translations have been an issue here. Both the sides have raised questions on the accuracy of those translations. The registry at the Apex Court has been tasked with verifying the accuracy of those translations, and subsequently the hearing will resume on January 29th. So that's the key date to watch for, to get an idea about the way forward as far as the schedule of the Ayodhya roadmap, or Ayodhya hearing, Ayodhya land dispute hearing is concerned. Back to you.
All right, Ashmit, thank you so much for all those details. Now shifting focus to the big earnings of the day, IT bellwether TCS fails to deliver any positive surprises in the third quarter as it delivers a mixed bag. Net profit and dollar revenue largely meet estimates. The IT bellwether's margins, however, were a disappointment. Rima Tendulkar joins us now. Rima, take us through your analysis.
Thanks for that. Let me run you through the top 5 takeaways. Net numbers are lower than estimates because of a margin miss. And the margins are missed, one, on account of cross-currency headwinds, and secondly, on account of a higher cost of doing business. Their subcontracting costs have gone up. As a result of this, their margins have come in lower than estimates by more than 110 basis points, declining on a sequential basis. So that is the key negative. The other positives or in-line factors in the numbers, one, the constant currency growth at 1.8% on a sequential basis, on a year-on-year basis at over 12% growth. This is the best that we've seen in the last 14 quarters. So growth continues to be fairly upbeat. Digital momentum is strong. So this quarter, the company has seen more than a 50% year-on-year growth in their digital revenues, which now contributes 30% to their top line. BFSI continues to accelerate. BFSI growth this quarter was at 8.6% year-on-year, which compares with a 6.1% growth in the September quarter versus a 4.1% growth in the June quarter. So it was troubled last year, but now it seems to be on course and is coming close to the company average. Fourthly, the order book and the large client growth continues to be quite strong. So the order book is accelerated to $5.9 billion versus $4.9 billion, and the $100 million client addition continues. So this quarter, in a seasonally weak quarter, they've added one client, and now we have 45 clients in that bracket. So net growth is intact, digital momentum looks strong, but there is a margin miss, and as a result of which there is a possibility analysts may have to scale down their EPS estimates. And plus, in the coming quarter, the rupee has actually appreciated, which will be a further headwind.
India is where China was and is at the stepping stone of becoming a great market. That's the word coming in from Richard Snyders, the Vice President of the Asia-Pacific region at Volvo. In an interview with my colleague Parikshit Luthra, Snyders said that hybrid plugins, building operational quality and consolidation would be the company's strategy for India in 2019. That's not all. He also called upon the government to reduce high tax rates on hybrids and give them the same treatment as electric vehicles. Take a look.
I'm very pleased to hear that government recognizes to really help environment and pollution issues with incentivizing electric cars. We see plug-in hybrids as the same cars, because if you use a plug-in hybrid, you basically could drive all week with electric. It's only when you go over 40 kilometers that you really start using normal conventional engines. So we are calling out that we really apply the same policy on plug-in hybrids, because it is a game changer, and plug-in hybrids is the way to full electricity. I think it's state-of-the-art technology, as I said earlier, and we need to introduce customers to this, because the tax is a concern to us, but I still think since it is state-of-the-art, it's still worth paying a premium for.
Right. So this would be probably a hope from the budget. The budget would be announced in a few weeks from now. Your hope would be that GST rates for hybrids should be rationalized, because this is a good option till the time we achieve full electrification.
Yeah, exactly. Because people who buy electric or plug-in hybrid have to do the charging themselves. They have to charge at work. So there needs to be incentivizing to people to do this. And hence we should apply the same policy on plug-in hybrids as we do for electric cars.
With that, it is a wrap on this edition of Reporter's Diary. Many thanks for watching, but stay tuned to CNBC TV 18. More news and updates coming up next.